Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem. Sorry for the delay, but Be'ezus Hashem, this should do it. Okay, CHELEK BEIS Berura begins with Hilchos Nesias Kapayim, the halachas of dochening. Even before we start, there's a very fundamental bir halacha, quoting the Seif for Charedim. We know that Birchas Kohanim is a mitzvah on the Kohanim. The Kohanim are mitzvah, it's one of the 613 mitzvahs for the Kohanim to be mavarech the The question is, do the Yisroelim have a mitzvah in some way to participate in this? So the Bir Halacha quotes the Sefer Charedim, mitzvahs asay levar koines Yisroel, shenamar, koi sevarchas b'nei Yisroel, v'Yisroel ha'imdim panim keneged pnei HaKohanim, the Yisroelim that stand face to face against the Kohanim, b'shtika, silently, u'mechavnim liban l'kava b'chasim kedvar Hashem, and they're mechavein in their minds to receive the bracha like Hashem commanded, heim nami b'chlal ha-mitzvah, are also part of the mitzvah. Ad kan l'shaynai, ve'aviyu achroinim. Now, there's a big question, what exactly does the Sefer Charedim mean that the Yisroelim that participate in Birchas Kohanim are also part of the mitzvah? Does it mean that the Yisroelim actually are makayim a mitzvah d'oraisa Birchas Kohanim? I mean, they're not Kohanim. What mitzvah are they makayim? Somehow there's a mitzvah on the Kohanim to be mavarech the people and a mitzvah on the people to receive the bracha. Is that what the bir halacha means? The hafla in Masechta Ksubas Chav Daled Amud Beis says indeed there's a positive command for the Yisroelim to be part of the bracha. On the other hand, Reb Pinchas, the Mari Asad, disagrees with the hafla's understanding of the hafla. And the Mari Asad says there's no mitzvah saseh on the Yisraelim, but they're misayeya bidei ha-kohanim. In other words, takes two to tango. Of course the mitzvah's on the kohanim, but if without the kohanim, then without the Yisraelim, there's no one to give the bracha to. So the same way, litzad hara, there's an isser d'oraisa of lifnei iver if you cause someone to sin. So if you cause someone to do a mitzvah, it's also part of the mitzvah in a sense of Birchas Kohanim. If I'm not mistaken, Rav Moshe Feinstein learns the first way, that there's actually some form of mitzvah on the Yisroelim. Rav Moshe says like this, a little trivia question, is there any amen that a person answers that is a mitzvah d'oraisa? Could you ever have a situation where answering amen is a mitzvah d'oraisa? Rav Moshe says yes. Answering amen, not to the bracha of Asher Kiddushanu L'Varchas Amo Yisrael B'Ahava, but answering to Yivarecha Hashem B'Yishmerecha, amen, is a chiyuv d'oraisa. What's the d'oraisa? Koi Sevarchas B'nei Yisrael. But it's only going on the Kohanim. No, says Rav Moshe. The Sefer Charedim says it's going on the Yisraelim as well. So this is a very important idea for the Yisraelim to be wholeheartedly focused. Even though with the talis over your head, who knows what you're doing under there, but it's still, even though nobody sees what's going on under there, still, if you're silent and you listen attentively to the bracha, you're mekayim a mitzvah d'oraisa. Says the Mechaber, ein nesias kapayim b'pachas me'asara. You cannot duchen unless you have a minyan. V'hakohanim me'aminyan. The kohanim can be part of the minyan. Says Rama, ve'ein lezar lisa kapav afilu im kohanim achirim. A zar cannot duchen even with other kohanim. We learned that in Ksubis, that the zar over ba'aseh. A zar violates an aseh. The tois park kol kisvei. So the Rama says a zar is not a duchen, even with other kohanim. The Rama quotes Toisus and Ksubis that a zar is over an aseh. However, the Ri lo yada Ri ma iser yesh bezar ha'oila. The Ri doesn't know what iser is the zar over by duchening. The efsher dim kohanim achim shari could be with other kohanim. It's permitted. The tzarachian. By the way, very interesting bir halacha. Very, very common bir halacha. Unfortunately, more common than you would ever expect, because it's not something that people know. But there are kohanim that are chalalim. There are many kohanim that are chalalim, but most people don't know that. Are they allowed to duchen? Are they over an asay if they duchen? The bir halacha paskins that the Pri Megadim agrees to the Pri Chadash, a chalal that's oila leduchen is over ba'asay, like a zar. And if he's oila, he has to go down. What about a tumtum or an androgynous also cannot duchen? He needs to leave the basic nesses before Ritzei. Fine. Let us see the Mishabura. Ein. You need a minion. V'dina b'chal davar k'may shemor le'albasim non hela inyan kadesh. The din by every type of minion is explained earlier in Siman non hey regarding kadesh. Meaning, let's say you started with a minion and then you ended without a minion. V'ayin sham b'mishabura siv katan lamen gimel mashikasavnu b'shem ha'prima gadim demistapik l'inyan yashen im mitzdaref. Look there in Siman non hey siv katan lamed gimel. What we bring from the Prima Gadim, who's Mesupik, if someone is sleeping, can he join with the minion? Yesh Oimrim, the Einas Kapam El B'Makim Sheish Sefer Torah. Very interesting. Some say you need to have a Sefer Torah to duchen. Why would you need a Sefer Torah to duchen? In Shaus Tshuvas Chikrei Lev. Now, anybody know who's the Chikrei Lev? The Chikrei Lev was Rav Chazan, the grandfather of Rab Chaim Falaji. I found his kever on Har HaZeisim. I looked and I looked and I looked and I looked. I found his kever on Har HaZeisim. He says, since in Shas and Poiskim it's mentioned that the Kohanim are oile lisa kapeim beduchin. The duchin is the bima before the heichal that the Sefer Torah is in. It's mashma that Nesias Kapayim needs a heichal and a Sefer Torah. However, the Mishabur says, practically, all the achronim, if not all of them, disagree that you do not need a Sefer Torah. Yesh oimrim, there are those who say, the mishabav amar koinani, someone who comes and says, I'm a koyin, ne'eman lisa kapav, is believed to duchen. V'chein haminog, that's the minog. We don't ask him for some kind of document of his lineage. The reason is the Beis Shmuel says in Eben Ezer Siman Gimel of Katan Beis, the Dirsha brings the footnote Gimel, footnote 3, because since he has no Hana, we're not worried that he's going to do an Isra. Prima Gadim adds that even though if he is Oile, if he's not a Kohen, he's over Ba'aseh, so since nevertheless he's not machshel anybody else, what does he need to do it for? Therefore, we believe him. Another reason is, it's asoy lehisbarer, so he's not going to want to lie. Says the Kaf HaChaim, but if a guy comes from, somewhere, from some foreign country where there are no Sharmei Torah mitzvahs, and it would be impossible to be Mavarer, then Taka, we would not believe him. Okay, the Kohanim could be part of the minion, says Mishabros of Katan Beis. The Kohanim are part of the bracha. In other words, you could ask, why are the Kohanim part of the minion, but they're not part of the procedure of duchening? The answer is, yeah, they are. They are part of the procedure, because they're also part of the bracha. They're also part of the bracha. How? Even if 6 of the people of the minion are Kohanim, Gamkin Sharper Dami, it's still good. Given the Yesh Al Kapanim Yisroel Echad, since you have at least one Yisroel, Sheyane Amen Achar Birchas Kohanim, who will answer Amen after the Birchas Kohanim. The Taz explains why is one Yisroel good? Because we say Yivarechecha, Hashem should bless you. You is even one person. Ubeis HaKnesses Shekulam Kohanim, a Beis HaKnesses that is entirely Kohanim, Ayin Lekaman B'Sif Chav Hey. Okay, one more Mishnah Berura. Ve'ein Lazar. A Zar does not participate in the Birchas Kohanim, and he might even be over an Aseh. What's the Aseh? The Chsiv Koi Sivarchu. So shall you bless. Atem, you v'loi zarim. V'lav haba miklal Aseh Aseh. V'ayin b'bach shekasav. The Davka im Nesias Kapayim. The Isser Aseh to duchen if you're a Zar is only if you raise your hands. Va'afilu im loi berech metchila asher kedushanu b'kedushasai shalan v'tzivanu. The Isser Aseh is only if you raise your hands, and even if you don't make the bracha, you'll still be violating the Aseh. Avalim yivarech birchas kayanim b'loi nesias kapayim. If you just say yivarechecha yair yisa and you don't lift your hands, over b'aseh, you're not over the Aseh. It's kois varchu is dafka b'nesias kapayim. Over Prima Gadim mashma the Isser yesh b'chal gavni. Prima Gadim is mashma, you will be violating an Isser in all circumstances, even if you don't raise your hands. Kasam Sefer Magid Giborim. The Magid Giborim writes, The ha da amra Torah atem v'lo izarim, einoi rak b'miskavin lekavanas ha-mitzvah. That's only if your kavana is to be mekayim the mitzvah of duchening. Aval I loy mechavin klal lekavanas ha-mitzvah. If you don't have kavana at all for the mitzvah, rak shaloi lavra al divrei chaver of shechashu shukain. It's just Beryl said, Zundel, go duchen. So Zundel is a very easygoing guy. If Beryl says go duchen, Zundel's gonna duchen. Zundel never refuses anybody. You could, so if, let's say, the reason Zundel goes up is because Beryl asked him, then he's not over an asay, because his kavanah is not for the mitzvah. He doesn't want to be over a divrei chaverav who considered him a kohen, and he told him to go up. Now, because the hour is late, I'm going to save the joke until the end of the share. You don't have to stay for it, but I'm not going to tell it to you now. Pshita, the ein kan isra asay klaus pasha, you would not be over an asay if the only reason you go up is because of peer pressure. Venerally, the chozeh dafka l'may de kaimelan le'el b'siman samach sivdalet, the mitzvah is tzricha is kavana. You know why you're not over an asay if you go up, if you're not mechavin l'shem mitzvah? Because mitzvah is tzricha is kavana. Dilav hachi einoi mutter rak davke mecham b'feir shaloi l'shem mitzvah. According to the other shita, the mitzvah is ein tzricha is kavana. Then you only save yourself from violating the asay if you have negative kavana not to do the mitzvah. Oy she'ein mechavin klal lebracha, or you don't have any kavana to even do the act of the bracha at all. Either you have negative kavana not l'shem mitzvah, or you don't intend to give a bracha va'ayim be'beralacha. Which, by the way, if you want to bless your children Friday night with Birchas Kohanim, because we paskin mitzvah tzrichas kavana, it's not a problem, because your kavana is not to duchen, your kavana is to just bless your children. Okay, so that concludes today's session. Have a great day, and if you want to stick around for a good joke, you could. It's not mandatory.